The tennis world had been waiting for a moment like this. A 21-year-old Filipina, a Wimbledon champion, and a performance so dominant, so fearless, so completely unexpected that even in defeat, Alex Eala left center court having changed everything the tennis world thought it knew about her. She didn't win the match, but she won something far more important. And by the time you finish watching this video, you will understand exactly what I mean. Berlin, Germany, June 17, 2026. Rot-Weiss Tennis Club. Center court. 25,000 fans packed the historic Steffi Graf Stadium, a venue named after one of the greatest players to ever hold a racket. Philippine flags waved alongside German colors. Banners stretched across the upper stands. And the chants of Laban echoed across pristine Berlin grass with a rhythm that never stopped, not once, from the first point to the last. At the center of it all stood a girl from Quezon City ranked 33rd in the world, about to face the most dangerous grass court player on the planet. Elena Rybakina. World number 2. 2022 Wimbledon champion. A player whose flat, aggressive ground strokes and 127 mph serve had dismantled opponents on this very surface for years. She doesn't just win on grass, she owns it. Her game was built for it. Low bounce, fast conditions, short rallies, everything about grass tennis plays into Rybakina's hands. And she had already proven herself at the highest level, winning the most prestigious tournament in tennis just 4 years ago without dropping a set in the final. The two had met just weeks before in Rome. Rybakina won 6-4, 6-3. Controlled, dominant, clinical, Eala had fought, had pushed, had shown glimpses, but ultimately, Rybakina had controlled the key moments and closed it out with the calm authority of a champion. Coming into Berlin, the result felt inevitable. Rybakina was rested, she had received a first-round bye. Eala had advanced via walkover after Donna Vekic withdrew. Some questioned whether she would even be sharp enough, whether the rust of a missed match would cost her when it mattered most. Today was supposed to be no different from Rome. It was very different. The first serve was a warning shot. Eala's left-handed delivery screamed down the tee at 113 mph, painting the line before Rybakina could even react. The Wimbledon champion could only watch. The crowd rose. And in that single moment, before a single rally had been played, the message was already clear. This was not the same player she had beaten in Rome. Something had shifted. Something had changed. From the very first game, Eala dictated play. Her lefty angles, the weapon that had defined her entire grass court campaign, did something remarkable on this day. They completely neutralized Rybakina's power. When you play Rybakina, the danger is her ground strokes. Flat, heavy, aggressive, they overwhelm opponents who try to match her pace. But Eala never matched her pace. She redirected it. The Kazakh's ferocious ground strokes were consistently sent back at sharp angles, pushed wide to the corners, forced into errors, rendered harmless before they could ever become dangerous. Rybakina looked uncomfortable, hesitant in a way she almost never is on grass. Her timing was off. Her movement, usually so fluid on this surface, seemed unsettled. Eala broke Rybakina's serve in the very first game. The stadium went quiet for half a second, disbelief, and then erupted. She broke again. She held with authority, serving with precision and confidence. And 34 minutes later, just 34 minutes, the first set was over. 6-2. Eala. Rybakina had never dropped a set by that margin on grass to a player outside the top 20. The Wimbledon champion sat in her chair between sets, jaw tight, eyes focused somewhere on the ground in front of her. Something was different today. And she knew it. Then came the moment that nobody in that stadium and nobody watching at home would ever forget. Second set. Third game. Eala trails 15-30. A pressure moment. A moment where lesser players tighten up, where doubt creeps in, where the scoreline starts to feel heavy. She steps to the baseline. The toss goes up high, perfect, hanging in the Berlin air for just a fraction of a second longer than usual. And then the strike. The ball explodes off her racket with a sound unlike anything she had produced before in her career. Not a crack, a boom. A white blur against the green grass, gone before anyone could track it properly. Rybakina, a player who regularly returns 127 mph serves from the biggest servers in the game, doesn't move. She watches. She blinks. The ball is already past her, skidding away into the corner. Ace, the radar gun flashes on the broadcast screen. The number appears, and for a moment, The commentators go completely silent. 119 mph. Let that sink in. Eala's average first serve speed sits around 105 mph. She had never been known as a power server, not once in her career. Her game was built on lefty angles, tactical intelligence, relentless defense, and the ability to outthink opponents over the course of a long match. Raw power was never supposed to be part of her arsenal. But on this point, on this day, she reached somewhere new. The commentator scrambled to find the words, 119 mph. That's not just fast for Alex Eala, that's fast for anyone on this tour. His co-commentator nodded slowly, still processing. She's never hit that speed before. Not in any recorded match. She just broke her personal record against the Wimbledon champion. Rybakina stood at the baseline, bouncing slightly on her heels, processing what had just happened. The record was broken. The message was sent. And the match was about to enter its most critical phase. But here is where we have to stop and give Rybakina her full credit. Because what truly separates champions from everyone else, what makes them champions in the first place, is not how they perform when everything is going right. It is what they do when everything is going wrong. When a player ranked 33rd in the world is hitting personal best serves and winning first sets 6-2, most players crumble. They start to press. They start to force. They lose belief. Rybakina did none of those things. She adjusted. Her serve, which had been neutralized in the opening set, began to find its spots again out wide, down the tee, into the body. Her ground strokes grew sharper and more decisive. She began to impose herself on the baseline in a way she hadn't managed in the first set. The Wimbledon champion reached into years of experience, years of playing pressure tennis on the biggest stages, and pulled the match back with calm, calculated precision. Rybakina took the second set 6-3. And just like that, we had a deciding third set. The third set was a completely different match from everything that had come before it. No more free points. No more dominant service holds. This was war on grass. Longer rallies, sometimes stretching 15, 18, 20 shots. Deeper pressure on every single game. Every point contested from the very first ball. Rybakina's power on grass is most dangerous when matches run deep, when fatigue sets in and margins shrink, when the pressure of each point becomes almost unbearable. In the third set, she found exactly that gear. She began extending rallies deliberately, pulling Eala wider, forcing her into more difficult positions, testing her legs and her lungs in the way that only the very best can do. Eala fought with everything she had. She competed at an extraordinarily high level, the kind of level that most players her age have simply never reached. But then came the moment that decided it all. 10th game of the third set. Eala serving at 5-6. Match point down. The crowd held its breath, all 25,000 of them, as if the stadium itself had stopped breathing. A 22-shot rally unfolded, end to end, cross-court, down the line, back to the center, back to the corner. Both players stretched to their absolute limit, covering the court with the desperate urgency of someone who knows exactly what is at stake. Then Rybakina found the ball she had been hunting, a forehand winner driven flat down the line, landing inside the baseline by the smallest of margins. The Wimbledon champion threw her arms wide. The match was over. Final score: Rybakina wins. 4-6, 6-3, 7-5. The Kazakh had survived. But only just. Now look at the numbers. Because the scoreboard alone cannot begin to tell you what really happened on that court today. Eala recorded 22 winners to Rybakina's 14. She committed only 11 unforced errors while forcing the Wimbledon champion into 18. She won 78% of her first serve points, a figure that is elite by any standard in professional tennis. She faced just 2 breakpoints the entire match, and saved both of them with clutch serves under maximum pressure. She outhit the world number 2 in winners. She forced a Grand Slam champion into more unforced errors than herself. Read those numbers again and ask yourself, who dominated this match? This was not an upset built on luck. This was not Rybakina having a bad day. This was Alex Eala performing at a level that the tennis world had simply never seen from her before. And Rybakina knew it better than anyone. After the match, standing in the press conference room, she was asked about her opponent. And she said this: she played incredible tennis. I didn't expect that level from her today. She's going to be a problem for a lot of players. Rybakina does not hand out praise lightly. She has beaten Serena Williams. She has beaten Aryna Sabalenka. She has beaten virtually every great player of this generation. She won Wimbledon without dropping a set in the final. When Elena Rybakina says a player is going to be a problem, she means every single word. But here is what makes this performance even more extraordinary. Here is the part of this story that the rankings and the statistics cannot capture. The Luda advised Eala to withdraw from Birmingham earlier this month due to fitness concerns. She signed a medical waiver, took the court anyway, and won the title. The organization fined her $50,000 for it. She paid it and moved on without a word of complaint. They charged her fees that other players on the tour were not required to pay. She paid those too. They excluded her from the Elite Player Development Program, a camp designed to help young players grow and develop at the highest level. She was shut out. She kept training anyway, kept fighting, kept climbing, one match at a time, one tournament at a time, one ranking point at a time. And now, after all of that resistance, after every obstacle placed in her path, she had pushed the 2022 Wimbledon champion to the absolute limit on grass. Laban is not just a Filipino word for fight. For Alex Eala, over the past year, it has been a complete way of life. Berlin is done. But the grass season is far from over, and the most important weeks of Eala's career are still ahead. The Wimbledon seeding cutoff falls in just days. She currently sits at number 33 in the world, one single spot outside the top 32 that guarantees a seeded position at the most prestigious tournament in tennis. A strong run at the Bad Homburg Open could lock in that seed and change everything about her draw at Wimbledon. But Bad Homburg offers something even more valuable than ranking points. It offers a doubles partnership with Venus Williams, 7-time Grand Slam champion, 2-time Wimbledon singles champion, one of the greatest grass court players in the history of the sport. The first time Eala and Williams will officially compete together. The opportunity to learn, to watch, to absorb from someone who has done everything there is to do on grass, arriving at exactly the right moment, days before Wimbledon begins. After the match in Berlin, Eala spoke with the quiet clarity of someone who knows exactly where she is going. I'm excited for the challenge. I know what I need to do differently. I've learned so much from this match, and I'm going to take that learning into the next tournament. Berlin didn't end with a trophy. It ended with something that lasts far longer than any trophy could. 25,000 people packed into the Steffi Graf Stadium and witnessed a 21-year-old girl from Quezon City who had been fined, excluded, overlooked, and underestimated at every single turn walk onto center court against a Wimbledon champion and refuse, completely and absolutely, to be intimidated. She out-hit her. She out-thought her. She took her to the absolute limit. The Philippine flags waved until the very final point. The chants of Laban echoed across center court long after the match had ended and the players had walked off the grass. And the tennis world for the very first time looked at Alex Eala and understood exactly what was coming. She didn't win the match. She won the argument. Wimbledon is 6 days away. The seeding chase is alive. Venus Williams awaits in Bad Homburg. And Alex Eala has proven, without any room for doubt, without any space for qualification, that she belongs among the very best players in the world. Laban always, and Wimbledon is coming.